Welcome back, trainers. So we are going to be taking a look at Premier Master League using my original Premier Master League team that got me to rank 10. And I just have kept building on top of it. So I did have another Conkeldurr. I did purchase a secondary move. It was a 100. And I already had one with a secondary move. So that's 2 at that point. Now I have the Shundo. And, well, maxed it out and bought a secondary move. So we have 3 of them. We've been evolving this team slightly, kind of improving it, not really, just the Conkeldurr. The Metagross is going to be 100, and then the Snorlax Shadow is going to be 10, 15, 15. And yeah, we're going to be leading with Snorlax the entire time, and then I think later down the line, we're going to start leading with the Metagross for a little while just to see what does happen for us, because we started running into a bunch of wacky leads. So we're going to look at some Conkeldurr completely clutch plays here. And it's just going to get progressively better as the video does go on. So make sure you do stick around. If you do enjoy these battle videos, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on, and I will be keeping you up to date on everything Pokemon Go and bringing you the news as well as these battles. Now, I haven't been bringing you guys as much battles that I have usually been uploading because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. My performance has been fine. We have some, wacky sets. We have some magnificent sets. It's just I want to get around to that news because, well, Go Battle League is always going to be here, and I upload quite a few of those, and even if these get backed up, we can just go back and look at them, right? So that's why I uploaded my first battles a little bit late. Some of you are like, well, how come it's a day late? Those were the battles from the prior day, and yeah, then same with these battles. I'm eventually going to get caught up here once all the news does blow over. Anyways, into this battle here, we're starting it off with the Snorlax. We're met with a Magnezone. Now, it's not the worst, but it's not great. It's not a good position to be in. It's not comfortable. Magnezone is annoying to me. Wild Charge, man, it is so strong. You're going to be lowering the defense, but they're obviously going to be usually building up to 2, hitting those back to back, and then retreating, potentially getting a shield out of them. But then you got a Magnezone back there that you have to worry about if you don't have a counter for. But we do have the Conkeldurr as well as the superpower on our Snorlax, so we're going to be having to shield this up. Unfortunately, another Wild Charge. I would have done a lot of damage. And in comes their own Conkeldurr. Okay, very nice. Let's go. So I do know this matchup very well because I play it all the time personally with my Conkeldurr up against a Metagross myself here. We're definitely going to be shielding this up. All right, so my idea at this point is to basically get this Meteor Mash off. It's going to KO. And then we have the Conkeldurr in the back and just pray that there's no Togekiss. Well, there's a Togekiss. But it doesn't matter because we're going to still be able to take the win here. Able to get to a Meteor Mash before they're able to get to a Flamethrower because there's still, Charm takes forever to charge up those moves. So we're taking that one there, looking good. We're just going to be highlighting some of the battles, not going over all of them because I do not feel like making an hour-long video right now. Got a lot of stuff to take care of, and I think 30 minutes is still pretty good, right, guys? Yeah. So we're up against a Gyarados here with Dragon Breath. I'll take it. Snorlax likes this matchup. With the Waterfall, it's still fine. Dragon Breath, though, is beautiful because we don't have to take that much damage. But they are swapping it as well as it takes forever for them to get to their charge moves. They're going into Haxorus. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off, doing a ton of damage there. And we're swapping into Conkeldurr because I know it does have Night Slash. And there it is, and we still shielded it up. Because it does also have Dragon Claw, and that is going to be doing a lot of damage. And check it out. Of course, we got it backwards, shielding up the first one. They're going for the Dragon Claw, the second one, and now they're bringing us pretty low. But that's fine. They have 2 shields. Let's see. Actually, it's not really fine. All right, so we're going to go straight for that Dynamic Punch onto the Metagross there. We're going to be able to get to another one here barely, but they're farming us. And Metagross with energy, yeah, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. So we're going to be swapping immediately, trying to get to a Body Slam onto the Metagross. But they're going to be swapping into their Gyarados here. And I didn't hit those because I was just like a little frustrated. But they used their last shield anyway. So we're going to go in here with our Metagross. I mean, there's nothing else we can do at this point. Yeah, Gyarados is basically a counter to Metagross, but we're still going to be able to do a lot of damage with Meteor Mash. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. We need to farm it down. We're not going to be getting off a Meteor Mash onto that thing. Are you kidding? So we have a bunch of energy here. We're looking pretty good. In comes our Metagross, and still able to pull this win here. That was a bit of an overkill. I don't know what was going on. I think I was getting distracted by Athena, and I didn't know 100% what their HP was at, so I just went for Earthquake. So it wasn't like a disrespect thing, although I mean, who cares, right? I go for whatever charge move. So we're met with a Togekiss here, and Love this matchup with my Shadow Snorlax. We're absolutely going to stay in here, and we can absolutely win this. If they want a double shield, they can win, but that's 2 shields down the drain. So they're going to be swapping into their Gyarados, and seeing that, Conkeldurr and Metagross aren't going to be the best matchup against it, we're just going to continue on here. We do have the Metagross to handle the Togekiss. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to come out on top for this battle. They have used the shield, so I'm thinking, all right, at this point, we better just go in here with the Conkeldurr and farm up and start building up to Stone Edge, because I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to come right back in here with. And there it goes, and we're going to be swapping into our Metagross right away, shielding this potential Flamethrower up. It is going to be a Flamethrower, so that would have done a lot of damage. They're going to be swapping into their own Conkeldurr. Let's go! Conkeldurr is on the rise, guys. And we're going for that Meteor Mash. It's just going to do neutral and a ton of damage, but they are going to be using that last shield here. So here's the call. What am I going to do? Shield up the Metagross, and that's what it is. Let's go. And we're able to get to another Meteor Mash, and this will KO, and then we're going to be able to take out the Togekiss. It's kind of like a similar situation for that last battle. So going to be able to get to the Meteor Mash here. Beautiful, perfect timing. I'm sure they were almost to a charge move, and we don't even really need to hit those. Just make sure to get off our charge before they do. So bringing back the original team with the best buddy, 100% IV Conkeldurr. You're going to see there's matchups where it did make a difference that it was best buddy. There's 4 wins there. But yeah, if you're thinking, is it really necessary to get it to best buddy, that 1 level boost? And if you're still not in the know as to what happens when you get your Pokemon to best buddy and they get that badge, basically it's going to be going from level 40 to 41. All right, so maxed out and then an extra level. And like I said, you're going to see situations with the Conkeldurr at best buddy 100% IV made all the difference. And yes, down to the last battle of this video, it's going to be so crazy. All right, so we're in here with the Snorlax. This is great. We're going to go ahead and let this Aqua Tail go through. This is what I think it is. It's going to be an Aqua Tail. Beautiful. And it is Dragon Breath, so we're not, too worried about that quick move damage here. And it does take kind of a little bit of time to finally build up to that Aqua Tail. I think we're actually going to shield this up. Yeah, definitely. We kind of want to win switch advantage, but I do believe they put up kind of a fight here. I think they shield this up. This might be the battle. Let's see exactly what happens here. Nope, they're going to be letting it go through. Never mind. In comes an Excadrill. Oh yeah, never mind. This is totally the different battle, and they're swapping immediately when they see the Conkeldurr into their Togekiss, and we're going to be going right into our Metagross here. We're in a beautiful position. Now, if they want a shield, I think they're going to let it go through. Yep, so they can come in here with their Excadrill and farm us all the way down here. And they're going to simply shield this up, and they're going to have a ton of energy for my Conkeldurr. We're going to resist rock, so they're going to actually have to just go for Drill Run, obviously, getting stabbed with that too. But it's not going to be doing quite enough damage, and we also have 1 shield left, so we're not looking too horrible here. They're going to be able to get to another one. There's quite a bit of energy built up here, and we're going to be able to simply survive it and then counter down the Excadrill. All right, Conkeldurr, put it in work here into the next battle here. All right, met with a Garchomp. So, we like to let the Outrage go through from time to time, because an Outrage and a Sand Tomb will still not KO, and then they're going to be almost forced to throw their energy again. But sometimes they can farm you down depending on the IVs of the Garchomp. So I do decide to shield this one up this time around because I just got a little nervous. Usually I would let that go through. We would still survive, hold on to a shield, and yeah, maybe they could farm us down, so it's not like the best situation, but a lot of times we can get to that third body slam. So we're going to go ahead and let this go down finally. 1-to-1 shield, so it's not the worst case scenario. What are we going to go in here with Conkeldurr? It looks like we want to farm down. This is definitely going to be a Sand Tomb for sure, right? Yeah, it was a little quick. Dropping our defense, and I was planning on switching no matter what they were going to bring in, because I'm sure it's going to be some sort of counter. We could have technically stayed in there, but let's go ahead and wipe away that debuff and go in here with our Metagross here. So they're going to go straight for the Earthquake. We did shield it up, which is great. We're going to go ahead and go for the Meteor Mash in hopes we can get a shield as well. No, they do not shield up. That's not great, but we're able to get to another Meteor Mash here, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's not the worst situation. Beautiful. They use that last shield, and they're going to have to throw energy here, and there's no way they're at 2 Meteor Mashes, so I can go in here with Conkeldurr and farm down and just devastate whatever they do have. But they're going to be swapping immediately, and we already had energy on our Conkeldurr, and here we go, coming in clutch at the end, going for that Dynamic Punch, taking out the Glassy Mamoswine, and taking out the Metagross with just straight counters. Looking good. This thing is, so fun to use. It's such a prize. All right, so into the next battle, we have a Togekiss. So we've seen this time and time again. And we're just going to stay in this battle here and shield it up at towards the end. It doesn't matter what we think the charge move is going to be. We will expend a shield, and we will win that switch advantage here, because that, you know, it's win or break you in this Ultra Premier a lot of the times, having that switch advantage. Having a shield disadvantage, though, it's not that big of a deal in some cases. So here we go, getting to another body slam. So, see, like, they could win this if they want a double shield. And there they go. They double shielded. There's your example. Togekiss, that is its only winning scenario to come out of that matchup with the Shadow Snorlax. So we're going to go in here with what they would have taken us out with, the Togekiss. So we don't really have, I guess, anything to really worry about as far as Togekiss. Up against the Machamp here. Now we're building up a ton of energy, and we're going to just take this sucker out. Let's go. Go in Dynamic Punch. Goodbye. We got a Garchomp in the back. We're going to go straight Dynamic Punch here, and I think we're going to swap. We might get a few more counters in. No, we're going to swap immediately. So we have a shield left. Who knows if they have Earthquake? We're going to go ahead and shield up the first one, and it is an Earthquake. It's going to take them a little bit to get to another one here, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash and take the win. We don't need to hit any of these. Like before, just trying to get it off before they hit their charge move, instead of trying to farm down Flex or something like that and just lose. All right, into the next battle. We're met with a Metagross. This is good for us. They're going to be swapping immediately into a Garchomp. Don't really have a great answer to that. Conkeldurr is okay. I mean, Metagross is even alright. You can take those Sand Tombs over and over again, and you're doing neutral damage with Meteor Mash. I want to save it. So we're going to go ahead and go in here with Conkeldurr. Still holding on to 2 shields. Don't remember if I let this go through. It's an outrage. It hurts a lot, and that's horrible. Oh no, that's horrible. They're able to farm us down. Garchomp doesn't need much to farm, and it hits like a truck, and you don't know if it's going to be outrage or Sand Tomb, so it's another outrage. Good thing we're shielding that up, though. And we're going to be taking them out. I mean, we're going to be swapping immediately into our Metagross. They do have a bit of an energy advantage, so we have to remember that. Now they're at Earthquake right before we were able to get there. Looks like they're going to continue to farm. We're going to see if we can get their shield. We do. Beautiful. And we have 1 shield left too, so I think we're going to be able to make it to Earthquake here. Alright, so they're going for Earthquake. Yeah. Oh, they swapped into Togekiss right on time. That was really good. Well played there. So, I mean, I lose. I mean, I could keep going, but they're going to get to their charge move, take me out. So I'm going to have to throw this here, and yep, they're going to be able to take me out with Meteor Mash. Well played. That swap there was just beautiful. But is it over, folks? It's not over. Did I get... Oh, Snorlax coming in. Ha! Let's go. And we're going to go straight for that superpower. Taking the win right at the end. Yeah, let's go. Alrighty. Looking good. This team is just great. I love that Shadow Snorlax. I did not hesitate to power it up when I had it. I waited a little bit. I was like, alright, let me just see what it's good with. But anyways, we're looking good here. Shiny, 100%, best buddy Conkeldurr is putting in work in Master Premier, and I'm loving it, guys. It's just amazing. And our score's going up. We're looking pretty good. We're taking some losses. We're taking some points. Let's go. Into the next battle here. We're going to be met with the Magnezone. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just... when am I ever going to go straight superpower, right? It seemed to always let the body slams go through, for the most part. So here's the trick. See, they're going to be shielding that up because they have a ton of energy, right? They're trying to build up to 2, and if I go superpower, that would a KO, so they want to make sure they preserve all that energy. So there's the 1. I think we're going to shield this one up here. Yeah, there's the 2, and we're going to see a swap. They're going to be going into their Gyarados. We're down a shield, and so are they. 1-to-1, and that's pretty much a counter to my Metagross. So they're going for Crunch. I knew that was going to happen. I was just letting it go through. I have to play myself out of this one here because we're not in the best situation around. If we bring it low enough, we could potentially go in here with Conkeldurr and farm down. Yes, Conkeldurr can farm down Gyarados. You're going to see that plenty down the line here. So we're going to go ahead and go in here with it and do exactly what we just described. We're going to let this go through. It's probably on Aqua Tail because Crunch is not very effective. Yeah. And they're going to be swapping. Okay, that works for me. And now we're going to go ahead and build up to 2 Dynamic Punches. All right, they have 1 shield left, so one of these are going to get through. And then we're going to swap into our Snorlax and try to take that thing out. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to get to a Meteor Mash. Now, during this experiment, I guess you can call it, or these test runs, trying to build up to 2 Dynamic Punches like this in certain situations, I found that right as I get to 2, they're going to be able to get to their Meteor Mash. Depending on my energy, actually, it's going to have to be perfect timing. So, I mean, very circumstantial. Going to be going for the Superpower onto the Magnezone here. Got to get that thing out of here. We have barely any health. In comes the Gyarados, and we're going to be able to farm that thing down with the Conkeldurr surviving barely. Like we said, it's not just for show. The best buddy, 100% IV, it's making a difference. It survived with like 1 HP there, and it's going to be doing that a few more times throughout this video here. I think maybe a few more times, maybe one. But anyways, you get my point here. It is magnificent. We need to get that Metagross 100 to best buddy. We need to get that Shadow Snorlax to best buddy and test them out there. But I feel like having this one here is good enough for me. All right, but anyways, we need to get that because of Mega Metagross. All right, so we're going to be countering down that Snorlax. There is 2 shields on both ends. They're going to be going back in here with Metagross, and we're going to be farming up, I believe, to 2 of these again, and you're going to see exactly that same situation, getting to 2 of these, and they're going to be getting off a Meteor Mash right after, and there it is. No, we're actually able to get another one. Never mind. We snuck it right in there, and now they're going for it. Okay, so we're definitely going to be shielding this. This Conkeldurr is running through this team. They're going to be swapping into their Machamp. Do I shield this up and go for it? Yo, I go for the gusto. Let's get it. Conkeldurr putting in work. We're going to be retreating with energy, going in with our Snorlax. Didn't know 100% if this was the best idea at the time, but what I was thinking is bring it low enough. We're going to get this shield here, but they're probably going to be able to farm us down. But here's the trick. You want to know something? You want to know something cool? Conkeldurr wins CMP. Let's go. So we're going to be able to get this off. No more shields. Taking them out. In comes Metagross. Taking them out. This thing is just putting in work. You like that? You like the CMP with the shiny winning it with the Conkeldurr? Let's go. I was like, oh my goodness, I lost. They're going to just hit me. But I was thinking, oh wait, I just need to tap on it as soon as possible because I will win CMP. I have higher attack. And that's exactly what happened. Let's go. All right. Into this next battle. This is a good matchup. We already know this. They're going to be swapping because it's not great for them. And we're going to be going right into our Metagross here, into the Dragonite. This is beautiful. I don't care what they throw at me. I'm just going to let it go through. They're letting it go through. That put a real big smile on my face. I was like, okay, that sounds good. Saving those shields for the late game, hitting me with that Hurricane. We're going to be building up a little bit more energy. Don't know if I think I might be going for a Earthquake onto the Metagross. Well, they're going to be trying to farm me down, which is the right play. Need to get as much energy as possible. Shield this up, and a Metagross with energy is not something you really want to see. So we're going to be swapping right into our Snorlax immediately, going for that Body Slam. They're letting it go through. They knew. They're like, that's not no superpower. I know you want to keep that Snorlax alive with all that health. And they're going into Magnezone here. They have 1 shield. What are we going to do? Go Body Slam. If this gets a shield, we need to get to that superpower. We need to get to it. Can we? Oh my gosh. This is a wild charge. All right, that's great. Conkeldurr. You know what it's hammer time, bud. It's hammer time. Let's go. All right, so this is probably going to be a wild charge. Not going to KO. Look at that. Thick boy doing his work. In comes the Metagross, and we're going to go ahead and punch its lights out with the 2 pillars. Taking the win. Conkeldurr looking good. Oh, and by the way, good games to everybody, of course. I have to say that because, well, good games, right? So we're met with a Mamoswine here. We're going to go ahead and let the first one go through and just build up a little bit more energy. But they're going to swap into their own Snorlax. So we're going to go ahead and go with that superpower and then go in here with our Conkeldurr and farm as much as we possibly can. We're not going to throw any charge. I mean, there's no point. I mean, look at its health. It's already done. We're going to go ahead and let this go through. That superpower, it's doing a decent amount of damage, and down it goes instantaneously from that counter. And I don't expect them to come back with Mamoswine. They have a Gyarados back there. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Dynamic Punch. Let's see if we can get a shield out of them. We do. Beautiful. They have 1 shield left. I think I shield this up and then go for a Stone Edge. All right, we're in a pretty good position here. Even if this goes down, I mean, fine. Oh, why would we go for another Dynamic Punch? That makes... Oh, and retreat and hold energy. Woo. Okay, Wasabi. Let's get it. All right, so we're going to be going in here with the Snorlax to absorb it. We had energy. That's fine. They threw their energy. They have no more shields left, and we have a shield. So I think we shield this up. It could be a crunch. Shield it. There we go. Beautiful. And they're swapping into their Mamoswine. This is great. We farmed a little bit of extra energy here. We don't need to really worry about that Gyarados too much. Taking out that Mamoswine is super effective. Building it up to the Meteor Mash. Alrighty, so that was good. We had to maneuver around that, but we were still able to pull that win off. Looking good here into the next battle. Let's see what we're going to be met with. Are we still starting with Snorlax? Yes, we are. And a Togekiss. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's see if I decide to stay in here. All right, so sometimes I build up to 2 body slams. Sometimes I just throw it right away. I get this like feeling in my gut sometimes that they are going to want to swap. So I try to do the damage before they get out, you know, onto the Togekiss. So we're going to go ahead and go for another one. They're going to be shielding it up there. And we're going to be shielding their charge move up. Like we've said before, it doesn't matter what it's going to be here. Don't expect them to swap. Why would they want to lock themselves in here? If anything, they're going to just 2-shield it, because you don't want to use both your shields and lock yourself in. So yeah, there it goes. It's a Conkeldurr. All right, so they have a bit of an energy advantage, but ours is best buddy. But theirs is too. Let's get it. All right, it's the showdown. It's the showdown at the Conkeldurrs. So they're getting our shield there, and we're going to be throwing ours here. And obviously they're going to shield it up. We're going to swap into our Metagross and absorb the Dynamic Punch because we know we can take it. Let's see what they have in the back, or if they decide to stay. They're swapping. It is going to be a Garchomp. All right, so we're going to be going for this Meteor Mash and hope, a flash of hope before my eyes. I'm thinking they're going to have to get off their energy. They're not going to want to farm me down, are they? No, they're going to have to throw here, but I feel like they have 2 charge moves ready to go. So can the Conkeldurr pull this off? Oh my gosh. If we can get to a Dynamic Punch, we are going to take the win. It's an outrage. Never mind. Good game. Good game. That was a close one, but they had that energy. Let's get it into the next battle here. Met with a Swampert. Again, another matchup that I love with my Snorlax in the front here. It's not going to be the best matchup for my Metagross. Conkeldurr can go toe-to-toe with Swampert-ish, you know. But this is just the best matchup for me all around. So they're going to be swapping into Gyarados, and we're going to stay here, right? Because we did do a bit of damage to that Swampert, and we're also just going to be able to match it up with the Conkeldurr later down the line. Or maybe even a Metagross, and you know, it's still doing damage. Yeah, they could hit you with an Earthquake and the quick move on it. Mudshot's doing super effective damage. Hydro Cannon's very spammy for neutral damage. But Metagross can still kind of hold its own up against Swampert to some degree. And yeah, it's not like a super immediate threat. Anyways, we're going to be going in here with Metagross and... so what's the game plan here, bud? Are you farming this thing down or what? So going for that crunch, shielding it up, great. I'm thinking to myself, I need to take this thing out. We're able to farm that thing all the way. In comes the Swampert, and we're able to go for that Meteor Mash. They're going to be letting it go through. We're swapping immediately into our Conkeldurr, and they have a Metagross at the back. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this one off, folks. Let's see how this works. So this should KO, or actually just, yeah, barely surviving that. They're getting off, even start farming a little bit more. We're going in here with our Metagross and farming it down. Are you kidding me? All right, but they have 2 shields. Oh, okay. Let's not get too high, crazy. All right, and what's it going to be? This isn't going to KO unless it's an Earthquake. How's this going to work? Can we get to another one? Oh my gosh, we're getting to another Meteor Mash, folks, and taking the win with the Metagross. Like we said, it can go toe-to-toe with it. Not very effective, but still doing a good amount of damage because it is one of those just OP moves. Into the next battle, we're met with another Swampert. Hey, okay, we'll take it. All right, so we're just going to stick this one out. A lot of times, you know, prepare for a swap after the first Hydro Cannon here. Maybe they know the matchup's not the best, but they're deciding to stay here. Maybe just to do as much damage as possible or absorb this and then gain some energy and retreat. Can also be another strategy. It looks like they're wanting to get off that energy again. We're still going to take this. Now, I need to be careful here because they could potentially swap into a fighter, and I could just waste all that energy. They just take me out like a Shadow Machamp or something like that. Yes, it will. Your health will go down that fast because as they're swapping, as you're throwing it, you're doing damage. You're going to see a prime example at the end, exactly what I'm talking about. I put it in slow motion so you can see it. So, all right, up against a Metagross here, swapping into our Metagross ourselves to catch this Meteor Mash. Beautiful, beautiful. We needed something like that to pull this off. So we're looking great. We're going to be going for our own Meteor Mash. Let's see if we can get a shield out of them. If we do, we're going to go in here with Conkeldurr and farm this thing all the way down. The Meteor Mash is not going to take us out. So, I mean, oh, they're going Earthquake. All right, that's even better, expending even more energy. We're building up a little bit extra beyond Dynamic Punch so we can be ready for whatever they do have in the back there, which is going to be that Swampert potentially and something else. Let's see. We have one shield. They have no shields. They're going in with a Swampert. I'm like, you know what? I'm shielding this and then farming. If it's a Togekiss, I'm done for. It's a Magnezone, and that's a good game, folks. And that's a wrap with Conkeldurr. Gonna go for that Dynamic Punch and take them out with the Conkeldurr's counter onto that Swampert. Beautiful. All right, let's keep this rolling here, folks. We're going to be met with a Togekiss. Again, yes, we love it. Are they going to swap, though? Let's see. Building up to the Body Slam. Looks like this time around we're not going for it immediately. Building a little bit of extra energy, potentially to give them illusion that we could maybe be going for a Skull Bash. Yeah, I mean, you could run Skull Bash on your Snorlax. It's pretty alright. Getting that defense boost. So they're going to be going for Aerial Ace. Yeah, it's not the... it's still going to shield it up. They're going to be swapping into their Gyarados. And I'm going to stay here and get off this energy because we have the Metagross to go up against it, and we don't need to like gain some sort of energy advantage right now. We need to get out that energy onto the Gyarados so we can take it out as quick as possible with these next two Pokemon. So it looks like we're going in here with the Conkeldurr again. My Pokemon choice to counter Gyarados is a Conkeldurr. It works. It works. The counters do so much damage here. So just dig it in here. Unfortunately, not able to get to a darn Dynamic Punch. But what we're going to do is go in with Snorlax and just bluff. Have them use all this energy here, which is great. And then we can go in here with the Metagross and potentially farm down. Nope, they built up a ton of energy. Calling it that it's going to be an Aqua Tail, and it is beautiful, so we're holding on to that shield. They're swapping into their Conkeldurr themselves, and I don't know. I think we can pull this off, but it's going to be very close. Oh, never mind. We're doing a ton of damage. Easy money. Never mind. Never mind. Shielding this up, in comes the Gyarados, so we're going to be able to farm it down. But it's not over yet. Let's see. Because there's still two Pokemon, one with low health, and that Togekiss. No, it's easy money. So they're going in to do as much damage, but that helps us build energy, and we're just going to throw this right away, just in case, taking the win on the Gyarados there. Beautiful. On to the next battle. Just got a couple more battles for you, folks. So we're going to be met with another Swampert, okay? And this guy is like, nah, I don't like that. Swapping into Dragonite, and we're going to go right into our Metagross. You already know. You already know what this is. So I don't hit all of them because I want to farm. Check it out. Yeah, definitely don't want to hit an excellent there. We need to gain a little bit of extra energy for the Pokemon that they're going to be bringing in next. Beautiful. We have that energy that we need and low health. That is the perfect condition to be in for myself personally. They can't farm, and we're going to be able to get off something here, and that is going to be this Earthquake. Unfortunately, the Swampert is going to be able to accumulate a decent amount of energy in that short amount of time because of its quick moves are just disgusting. And Hydro Cannons is disgusting, right? Alright, so going in here with the Snorlax to absorb these Hydro Cannons because it can do that even as a Shadow form. Going for the Body Slams just, to get it out of here or to burn some shields. Their last shield, we still have two left. I do believe I let this go through too. No, we're going to shield it up. I think we're getting a little low, and I'm thinking if they have a Togekiss, I'm screwed, and there's the Togekiss. Okay, exactly. Alright, so we're going to be going for Stone Edge here. This is not going to KO, but bring it very low. Let's go. Check this out. Oh. You did what you needed to do, Conkeldurr. You got that Stone Edge through. All right, so what's the game plan here? Well, let this go through because that's not threatening. Lick it down, and then we're going to be going for the... Now, technically, I should have just licked down. But watch. Let's see how this works. All right, shielding this up. We should be able to just lick it down. Like, the play, I was like, oh, I need to get to another one. Unfortunately, so close. Not today, folks. Not taking that win. Good game. Gotta love it. You know what I think I should have done is not throw the Body Slam so I can get in an extra lick or two. But you live and you'll learn. All right, another darn Swampert. Okay, sounds good to me. So they're going to be shielding theirs up right away. They want to hold on to that health. They do not want anything in the back to see it, or they have a strategy. They want to hold on to it. Maybe they know I have a Metagross here. This team is kind of known. And we're going to be going out into a Snorlax and swap right into our Conkeldurr here. Beautiful. We're letting this Body Slam go through. We're not necessarily going to farm down. I mean, that's not happening, right? Because unless we want to burn all of our shields. So we're definitely going to shield this up. And then we're going to be getting this off here before they get off a Body Slam. I know they don't have much health left, but I don't want to waste two shields. One is good enough, and we have energy. All right, so let's see what they're going to come in the battle with. It's going to be a Metagross. Perfect. We're going to be going for that Dynamic Punch. See, we even had enough energy to go for a Stone Edge if it was a Togekiss, and it does a lot of damage. We're retreating. Did you see that? How much health the Conkeldurr had? Pay attention to that, because watch what happens here. This is the last battle, folks, and this is what I'm talking about on how you're going to be able to do damage as you're throwing the Pokemon in. This isn't some new discovery. I've known this for a long time. It's actually kind of a little trick if you can exploit it. Actually, it's not really exploiting anything, but anyways. So it's not looking great. I mean, it's not looking, actually it's looking okay, right? So we have a shield, but watch this fancy trick, how Conkeldurr just comes in clutch at that best buddy 100% IV. Let's go. All right, so they're going for that. We're swapping immediately because I feel like they had almost 2 already to go. And look at the counter damage. Bam, we take him out. Conkeldurr goes down by quick move as well. And we have a double KO, but I have the Metagross still. So we are looking good, taking that win. Conkeldurr just coming in clutch every single time. Let's go. Thanks for watching, traders, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.